Hey, what's up everyone? This is Silver Slayer. Thank you for tuning into this video. Over the last several months, we witnessed something that hasn't ever happened in history. We saw silver, the cheapest it's ever been compared to gold in the last 5,000 years. The gold to silver ratio was over 125 to 1 when historically, back in the olden days, it was around 16 to 1. Modern times, around 50, 60 to 1, and we saw it go up to 125 to 1. That is absolutely astonishing, and that shows us a lot about where precious metals are headed. Since then, silver has outperformed gold, so the ratio right now is sitting at 95 to 1, meaning it takes 95 ounces of silver to equal or trade 1 ounce of gold. So this shows a lot about our future for precious metals, like I said, and it's going to explain some of history and where this ties in to silver prices being bullish. So this article from investing.com is talking about the gold to silver ratio's message about the bullish case for precious metals. So the link to this article will be in the description. Make sure you check out the 2 other videos I posted today as well. You don't want to miss them. With that said, let's jump into the video. So the new modern day high in March. The ratio turns lower. Memories of the 2008 through 2011 in the silver and gold markets and the ratio. So the gold to silver ratio dates back thousands of years, and around 3000 BC, the first Egyptian pharaoh Menes declared that 2.5 parts silver equals 1 part gold. So that was the first gold to silver ratio we saw, was 2.5 to 1, which is extremely low. And back then, that was because silver was magical to them. Silver could purify water. Silver responded uniquely to different elements and different metals. It was something of the kings. It was royalty. And it was only till today's times where we kind of downplayed silver. And it happened first in the 30s when FDR changed the gold to silver ratio from 16 to 1 to 75 to 1. He was the one that undergraded silver and really made it worthless. So in modern times, since silver and gold began trading on the COMEX futures exchange, the average of the price relationship between the two metals had been around 55 to 1 level, where it also stood at the beginning of 2020. The high came in 1990 and the low in 1979. When the ratio is below the average level, silver is historically cheap compared to gold. When it's above, the white metal is considered expensive. The ratio is an inter-commodity spread, but it reflects the potential for substantial between the two metals. Gold and silver have long histories as both commodities and currencies. For centuries, and before biblical times, gold and silver were symbols of wealth and money. In the U.S., one of the leading issues during the 1896 presidential election between William McKinley and William Jennings Bryan was whether to use gold or silver as backing for the U.S. dollar. McKinley and gold won the election. So gold was backing the U.S. dollar, and then we saw a little bit later, our money got cut off from gold and silver. And when that happened, we were setting ourselves up for failure, because when our money is backed by gold and silver, you see our constitutional silver. If I was to go to the store and give a store clerk back in the day a 50-cent walking liberty, I was giving him 50 cents of value, because that 50-cent walking liberty has 50 cents of actual silver inside of it. But nowadays, if you give them a couple quarters, there's no backing, there's no value traded there. So it's basically going off of faith in the system. And if we lose the confidence of the dollar will deflate, and it's lost 98% of its purchasing power due to this, due to hyperinflation. So anyways, let's keep going on. So in March, risk-off conditions in the markets across all asset classes pushed the price of silver to the lowest level since 2009, when it fell below the $12 per ounce. The move propelled the silver-gold ratio to a new all-time peak, new modern-day high in March. You could see this huge, all the way up to 125 to 1, where you see it usually is like mid-80s. That's in the past, in the past, 50 years, it's mid-80s. And now you see it exploding up higher. And that was due to many different things. That was $11.72 silver. That was explaining a lot of the virus, U.S.-China trade negotiations, the economy, and where people's head were at. The daily chart of June COMEX gold futures is divided by July COMEX silver futures. Above shows the ratio's peak in March. The relationship reached a high of 124.4 ounces of silver value to each 1 ounce of gold value in March 18th. The quarterly chart illustrates the previous high in 1990 that was below the 95-to-1 level in the ratio. The ratio turns lower. The ratio has declined steadily since the March high, reaching its most recent low at 92.32 to 1 on June 1st. Last Friday it was trading below the 96 to 1 level, and right now it's at the 95 to 1 level. So what that means is silver is slowly outperforming gold. It's dropped nearly 30 points, 25 points since the 125 to 1 level. It's about 30 points, and what that means is that silver is correcting itself. The gold to silver ratio is way too high. It still is too high, even at the 95 to 1 level, meaning there's still running room. Silver still has some legs to move, and I definitely think its time is going to come for several reasons. In this video, even the video I posted earlier today, talking about the silver demand, go check that video out. It's diving really deep into silver demand and supply and why it's so bullish, why silver is so bullish. So this is just one of the many reasons why gold and silver, more specifically silver, is extremely bullish. So historically, the ratio tends to rise during periods where there's a bear market and falls during bullish trends. At the low of 15.4 to 1 came in 1979 when silver was on its way to $50 and gold was to $875. At the time, those prices were record highs. By 2011, the ratio fell to a low of 38 to 1. 3 years after the 2008 financial crisis, silver was moving towards its most recent high of $49.82 and the gold to its record peak of $1,920 per ounce. And a lot of people compare 2008 credit crisis to today's times with some similar things happening in the economy. Is just more severe, more exaggerated, more dramatic during today's times because we also have a pandemic on our hands. So in 1990, the previous high in the ratio, gold and silver traded to respective lows of $346 and $3.93 per ounce. Time will tell if the turn lower in the ratio is a sign that higher prices are on the horizon. So memories of the 2008 through 2011 in the silver and gold markets and the ratio. Perhaps the most compelling bullish case for gold and silver is the unprecedented level of central bank and government stimulus flowing into the financial system in 2020. From June to September 2008, the U.S. Treasury borrowed a record $530 billion to fund economic stimulus. During May 2020, the Treasury had already spent $3 trillion, more than 5 times that amount. So you can see today's times are just way more extreme. Back in the day, they took $530 billion for stimulus to help out the economy. Nowadays, we spent $3 trillion. That liquidity was rocket fuel for silver and gold markets from 2008 to 2011. The same might be true for the coming years. So that was rocket fuel that propelled prices to almost $50 back in the day with $530 billion to fund economic stimulus. Nowadays, 5 times higher, it could explode prices 5 times higher as well. Indeed, the move in the ratio from 2008 through 2011 could be a model for the future. The chart above shows that in 2008, the knee-jerk reaction in the relationship was a move to a high of 77 to 1. Then the highest level since 1996. Afterwards, it fell to 38 to 1, the lowest since 1983. Will government and Fed stimulus cause a similar move in the years ahead? The jury is still out, but the unprecedented level of liquidity in the global financial system is a compelling case that history will repeat. So it's looking like history, if it's going to repeat to even any degree, it's going to be extremely bullish for gold and silver. I'm not a silver pumper. I'm not telling you to buy silver just because I want you to. I'm not trying to influence you. I'm just sharing the facts and sharing what makes sense, right? I'm sharing history, I'm sharing the facts, the information given at hand, and why it could repeat, and why there's so much potential into precious metals, more specifically silver. Diversity is definitely key. Diversity is definitely a way to balance out your portfolio, and gold does have some benefits that silver doesn't have. So I'm not saying that you should only stack silver. Gold is definitely a great asset to put into your portfolio for some reasons. That's a whole different video, but silver is just, it has the most potential, and that's where we're looking for, is the most gains, the most profits to become financially free, financially stable. So if you did enjoy this video from investing.com, the link will be in the description if you want to check it out yourself. What do you think about this? What do you think the gold to silver ratio means right now? What is this telling us about precious metals, and where do you think the ratio is headed? Do you think it's going to go back down to more normal corrective levels, to 55 to 1? Do you think that's even possible in today's times, or do you think that those ratios that low are part of history and won't ever happen again? I'm curious what you think. If you did think this video was educational, informational, or at least just entertaining, make sure to smash the like button. Let's see if this video can get 200 likes. Also, go check out the 2 other videos I posted today. You don't want to miss them. First one, I was talking about why silver is so much better than gold. The second one, I dive into how we're running out of silver, how the demand for silver is outpacing the supply or the production of silver, and now we have this video. So, you know, I'm going to keep working, keep doing my job. If you enjoy my videos, make sure to smash the like button. Also, make sure you subscribe, turn on post notifications so you instantly get notified every time I post a video. That's all for today, folks. This was Silver Slayer. I'll see you guys soon. Peace.